Good day, dear colleagues. I am Olena Denysiuk, and I would like to present the results of our research, Creditworthiness Management as a Tool for Ensuring Sustainable, Self-Sufficient Business Development in Ukraine. The authors are Olena Denysiuk, Yuzef, Tsal-Tsalko, Yulia, Moroz. We are from Zhytomyr Polytechnic State University, Ukraine. Our research is devoted to the issues regarding the effectiveness of managing the creditworthiness of Ukrainian business, which involves significant financial resources to form necessary assets under debt obligations for economic operation. The research aims to define ways to enhance the management of creditworthiness within Ukrainian businesses based on scientifically substantiated factors that impact dealing with the enterprise's creditors. The main tasks of our research are presented on slide 3. Sustainable and self-sufficient business development is the most crucial factor for the existence of individuals, states, and territorial communities. In Ukraine, in 2022, the GDP amounted to 5,191.0 billion hryvnias, and the export of goods reached $44.1 billion. As of December 31, 2022, Ukrainian enterprises had accumulated 14.7 trillion hryvnias in assets from various sources for economic activities. The overall characterization of asset formation sources by structure and volumes and enterprises in Ukraine at the macroeconomic level, based on the State Statistics Service indicators, is provided in Table 1. Overall, the Ukrainian business sector exhibits a very high level, 72.9% of external obligations, informing its assets through account payable, including obligations to banking institutions, suppliers, state and local budgets and funds, employees and other creditors. It is worth noting that many economic categories and terms, including creditworthiness, lack a clear definition among Ukrainian scholars. We believe that creditworthiness refers to an enterprise's ability as a borrower to form assets through obligations and fully and within defined terms settle accounts with creditors by mobilizing payment assets from various sources. Assessing an enterprise's creditworthiness involves calculating two types: current or actual and potential or prospective. These two types of creditworthiness should be considered together when assessing the risk associated with the enterprise's ability to manage its obligations. We have used the factor analysis model in our research. The model allows for effective management of performance indicators that impact the fulfillment of existing and potential obligations and determine their role in shaping assets. The correlation analysis included a set of data regarding indicators of income, equity, payment assets, and liabilities of economic entities, the reporting of which is aggregated by the State Statistics Service of Ukraine according to the classifier of types of economic activity for the years 2013 and 2022, spanning a decade. Table 2. Such information reflects the structural characteristics of Ukrainian businesses over the years at the macroeconomic level. Investors can use it to assess the creditworthiness of the national economy as a benchmark for the reliability of potential business relationships. Therefore, each investor should develop their own directions for establishing business relationships based on specific economic activity and regional indicators. When constructing a factor model of the dependence, the business creditworthiness of the enterprises is creditworthiness on the directions of its economic activity, we use the corresponding coefficient indicators. The first, the level of economic autonomy of the enterprise's functioning. The second, the duration of the operating cycle of transforming assets into cash through technological process characteristic its transformation in the reversed equivalent of inventory turnover. The third, the management status of accounts receivable as the optimization of its share in current assets. The fourth, the optimization level of the enterprise's relationships with customers and creditors, representing the ratio of accounts receivable to account payable. All indicators you can see on slide 8. Next slide. As a result of the analysis, a four-factors correlation regression model was obtained, depicting the dependency of creditworthiness on the substantiated coefficient indicators to the business's economic activity. The equation formed by the results of regression analysis is on slide 9. Overall, the statistical parameters of the model suggest that it is quite reliable and adequate for predicting business creditworthiness based on the selected independent variables. The obtained model allows us to conclude that improving the business's creditworthiness in the conditions of the national economy is ensured by increasing the autonomy of the economic operating process, reducing the time for transforming resources into goods needed by buyers, decreasing the share of accounts receivable in payment, means by converting it into more liquid assets faster with the growing process of income generation compared to the formation of debt obligations to resource supplies, which is a result of added value growth. Based on the results of our research, it is possible to identify measures to enhance enterprises' creditworthiness concerning the timely and comprehensive realization of sustainable development goals aimed at fulfilling current obligations to creditors. You can see it on slide 10. The higher the ratio between equity and the enterprise's liabilities, the more economically autonomous, stable, independent, resilient, and self-sufficient the enterprise is in its relationships with creditors. Enterprises with the higher proportions of equity in asset formation are considered more attractive to creditors, as they pose a lower risk of defaulting on debt obligations. The research has shown that optimization of the operational cycle of economic activities is an essential tool within the framework of effective enterprise creditworthiness management, with the inventory to net income ratio serving as an indicator. The smaller the amount of funds diverted to inventory formation, the greater the possibility of using them to repair debts. To define the key components of the enterprise operating cycle management model, the authors propose examine the mechanism of its formation. Figure 1. The management policy concerning the share of accounts receivable in payment assets is one of the most pressing issues for many Ukrainian enterprises. The need for more control over this aspect is often a cause of business crisis. The Ukrainian business practice indicated that the longer the term of accounts receivable, the lower the probability of full recovery. The quicker the repayment, the lower the risk regarding the enterprise's ability to settle its debt to creditors. While managing creditworthiness, it is essential to compare the current accounts receivable and account payable volume. The measures defined to ensure the creditworthiness of the enterprise will enable it to influence the achievement of sustainable development goals, but attaining a self-sufficient level of effective management and value addition. The 8, the 9, the 10, and 12. So, dear colleagues, during the report I presented to your attention the main results of our research. Our research prospects lie in providing scientific substantiations of enterprises' payment policy strategies concerning relations with buyers, informing accounts receivable and suppliers concerning debt obligations. Thank you all for the attention, and let's discuss.